right, everybody, it's your boy Genius out here at the range this morning. Kind of crisp and cool out here. Enjoying my cigar this morning. Getting ready to do a little bit of filming. But I wanted to do this video because I promised in a video I done earlier where I said why you can't trust 75-80% of what you see on YouTube. And I had a pretty good response to the video. People said they liked me telling them where I was at as their favorite YouTuber. I really appreciate you saying that if that's true. And I kind of thought, well, once a month, if I remember, I'll try to do a little progress report, if you will, kind of like a business, because that's kind of how I see this, right? Where I'm at, how things are with the channel, the health of the channel, if you will. And maybe try to tie a recent, maybe controversial video that I've done with that and kind of put the two together so it's not quite so boring, okay? We'll talk a little bit about how the channel is doing here in a moment after we address, or after I address, something that I've done recently with the Live Free Armory, the Apollo 11. But before we do that, as always, make sure you know Jesus Christ is your Savior. If you don't know what that means, as always, reach out to me in the comment section or at gsquaredtactical@gmail.com. Be happy to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with you. Take care of that today. Today is the day of salvation. So recently I've had the Live Free Armory Apollo 11. I avoided buying the thing for about 2 years, partly because I have other 2011s and I have some upper end 2011s, and a lot of them I haven't even reviewed because, people think I'm a gun snob or something, but I like nice guns too. And I'll buy, now that I've been doing the channel, I buy about 4 me guns every year. One of those was the 92 XI Squallow. I think that's how you say that. Probably not, but that's how it looks to me. And I'll buy a few more this year that are, me guns. But for the most part, the guns I buy are guns that people have asked me to review, and I'm happy to do it. That's what I'm here for. That's why partly why I started the channel. But the biggest reason why I started the channel was because I would research guns, because it was fanatical for me, right? I would research guns sometimes for 2 months, scouring the internet, the dark crevices of the internet, trying to find that one negative review. Okay, maybe it's a good gun, but there's got to be something that somebody doesn't like about it. There has to be at least one problem that someone has had. Never could find anything. I would go out, I would buy this firearm and get it home, and it was nothing like what the internet said. Either, the features and how they worked were not exactly the way they said, the quality of the build was not what they said, or the thing was just a complete piece of crap. And I would take it back to the gun store, and some of the guys in there say, yeah, I was kind of surprised when you came in here and bought that thing, but I wasn't going to say anything because you're pretty headstrong when you've made your decision to buy something. You can't really talk you out of it, so I just let you get it. And it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. And honestly, at that time, I didn't even know what the word shield meant. I had never heard that word in my life. I didn't know that people on YouTube received free firearms, that they could potentially be bought and paid for. I thought they were just doing honest reviews on firearms that they bought and that they was making a killing from YouTube. I found that to not be true, right? Not at all. And so I was like, you know what? I got a safe full of guns. Maybe they're not the newest ones, but some of them are kind of new. I got enough guns that I could do a YouTube channel. So I decided to start it, and start it for one reason, that I can buy my own guns, and because I would be just as angry as you would be if you bought it and something was not quite up to snuff with it. And I could just tell that I'm not beholden to anyone, right? I bought this gun. I can say what I want to say. This is my channel. I can say what I want to say, right? And that's why, the biggest reason why I started the channel. Now, with that said, if I don't start receiving free guns, which is going to be tough for me because I'm uncensored and brutally honest about my experience with firearms, but if I was a firearm manufacturer, I'm the kind of person I'd want to send my firearms to. Pure and simple, yeah. Because if people know that this man is going to tell the truth, if I have a good product, well, hey, man, people are going to believe this man because he's honest about it, and I am. And it means a lot to me, and I think a lot about it before I say certain things about a firearm because people are depending on me to tell the truth. I would hope that people are not hanging on every word that I say, but if they are, they're depending on me for that, right? So I wanted to address a few questions that some folks had about the Live Free Armory, the compact Apollo 11, and some folks that said, well, why don't you send the gun back? Well, there's several reasons for that. So out of all of the gun stores, it's about 7 that I frequent. Sometimes I go to each one of them once a week. You know, as ashamed as I might be of that, I go into too many gun stores, right? And I asked him, like, hey, do y'all get a lot of these, Apollo 11s returned for warranty or whatever? He said, yeah, a decent amount, yeah. And it's like, well, what are they sending them back for, And a lot of them was for the same reason. I'll say, well, how does that process go? Well, honestly, man, a lot of times they end up trading it in for $400 or $500 on another gun, or consigning it or something like that. Even after they get it back from the manufacturer, well, yeah. A lot of times they say it runs for a couple magazines and then it's back to where it was, just worse in a lot of cases. Well, I got that same type of comment in emails from viewers in the comment section. And so I was thinking, like, why would I send this gun back? Like, the extractor and it not ejecting properly or consistently, should I say, I kind of fixed that myself. All the burrs that were inside of the gun, I fixed that myself. At the very least, I honed down the rough edges on that gouge out of the valley on the disconnector rail. Can't get it out this morning. And also the finish, the coating that was all over the disconnector rail and just all over the gun in general, all down inside of it, feed ramp and everything else. And I got all of that polished up. So what are they going to do that I haven't already done? They can't change the cheap, or what I believe to be, honestly, I can't prove it. I wish I had it in me to beat it open and find out, just crack the frame open and find out if it is indeed pot metal or some form of pot metal, right? But I can't do that. God allowed me to buy that, and I just can't destroy it. If someone wants to get it from me and do it, hit me up in the email, g2tactical@gmail.com. I'm curious what kind of metal, if it is pot metal, especially on that lower. But what are they going to do with that? I mean, I don't know. Like, if that's their process, right? And so last night I started telling people in the comment section, listen, as a business owner of an HVAC company, in the summertime, my feet get held to the fire. If one of my technicians screw up, if something that a procedure I had in the place failed, they hold my feet to the fire in a big way. They're hot, they're aggravated. And you know what? I don't look at that as a bad thing. Yes, it hurts me to hear that initially, but I use that as fuel, as fire, to do better, because I try to view it as constructive criticism, and it makes me a better person. So in essence, I should be grateful for that feedback from the customer. It makes me better, it makes me a better provider, and it helps my business to grow, and it has done that, okay? So why can that not apply to everyone else? Why can't everyone else's feet be held to the fire? But it's not my objective to see an American company struggle or to shut them down or bash them over the head. But if telling the truth is doing all those things, then I can't help that. That's why, again, that I started the channel. People depend on them. They have employees, their local, I'm sure their local, government and where they pay taxes at and stuff like that depend on them a great deal. I don't want to hurt any of those things. It's an American company. That's not my objective here. My objective here is drop the price on your gun drastically. Maybe $500 would be a better price, or make a better product, one or the other. You know, you can't have both, in my opinion. Okay, my objective is for them to simply, as I said in the first video, do better. Okay, so I decided last night to read a little bit on their website and read a little bit about their process and how they do things. And I'm just going to try to briefly, as fast as I can, read some of these things. It says, Live Free Armory has a proven history of design, manufacturing, and production in the defense, aerospace, and medical industry using multi-axis milling. Our CNC engineers and design team utilize some of the most advanced manufacturing machinery and cutting-edge software to guarantee precision on even the most complex process. That wasn't necessarily my experience, but we'll move on. Quality control, we're committed to going above and beyond. Commitment to quality does not come cheap. Live Free Armory is committed to the absolute best quality equipment in the industry. This includes a hexagon global chrome coordinate measuring machine, a CMM, that is currently the most accurate and fastest CMM in the state of Florida. Maybe because it's so fast, maybe that's part of the problem. With some of the most advanced quality technology paired with some of the best quality engineers in the country is just one of the reasons why Live Free Armory has an industry advantage and guarantees quality parts for their customers. Again, not my experience. They have this process, it's called wire EDM. It's technically a stress-free machining process since no direct mechanical force is applied to the part. One of the advantages of using the wire EDM is that it can cut tight radiuses while also providing excellent surface finish. Again, does this look like excellent surface finish to you? Another advantage of using this process does not leave any burrs. Remember that. Just remember that. Let's read that again. Another advantage of using a wire EDM is that the process does not leave any burrs, requiring a secondary process to clean it up. Remember that. Live Free Armory has a CNC. We'll pass on over that one. Okay, now the next one down. Remember what I said. Deburring and finishing at Live Free Armory. Live Free Armory meets or exceeds the industry standards for deburring and finishing. Surface roughness and edge quality play an important role in the manufacturing. Deburring is used to remove the residue and imperfections remaining on metal surfaces after the part has been machined. Let's back up here for a second. So, another advantage of using wire EDM is the process does not leave any burrs, requiring a secondary process to clean it up. All right, let's go down here for a second. Removing any burrs ensures that the part meets the quality specifications. Surface roughness and edge quality play an important role in manufacturing. Deburring is a process to remove the residue and imperfections remaining on the metal surface after the part has been machined. What? Okay, yes, I'm trying to be a little bit funny here. But does this look like good machining? Does this look like deburring? I know it's hard to see in the pictures, and I apologize because I was cleaning the gun up. It was late at night. My camera was still in the Jeep. I didn't feel like going out there and getting it. But as I was mentioning in that first video, running the Q-tips through the channel of the extractor and the firing pin channel and down the internal side rails and stuff, it was just ripping pieces of my cloth, and I had to stop using the Q-tips because it was catching the fibers of the Q-tip and just ripping it off. And I had to take my Dremel and clean up. I had to clean it up. I had to clean the burrs up. They didn't. And then they go on talking about the different processes they use. And one part of it in here talks about the fitment. It talks about the fitment and the tight tolerances. Does this look like tight tolerances to you? I mean, honestly, literally last night on camera, I hit the gun a little bit, lined it up, hit the gun a little bit, and the slide lock lever or takedown pin or both just fell out on the ground. And last night I was showing my wife, I was like, I want you to come in here because I was keeping you awake last night, beating on all my 1911s. Come in here. I took my Staccato, my Prodigy, my Thesis, and I believe my TRP 1911. I lined them all up. I pushed it out just a hair, just enough to lock up the slide, you know, how I was doing. And I just boom, 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 just beating the crap out of it, trying to get that slide lock lever to fall out. And it just wouldn't. I said, now watch this. Now, up until now, I've been having to tap it a few times to make it fall out, right? But I guess because I shot it a little bit more yesterday after I stopped the film, I was in the hallway, standing at the very end of the hallway of my house, right outside of my safe room, and I pulled it back and got it lined up, and I tilted it sideways, and you can't make this up. It fell right out without me touching it. And her words were, "Wow." Does that sound like tight tolerances to you? My local gun store, I got him to order another one for me. He said he'd be able to sell it, so he'd be glad to do it. And the one that I know that has some are not going to let me do that, but he's going to let me do it. And I'm going to see if it's the same way on that one, because I feel confident that it is. I feel confident that all of the coating and finish is still going to be on the inside of the gun. So, listen, I don't want to bash this company. That is not my objective as far as bashing them to the point of causing them to fail, causing people to never want to buy their products again. I want them to do better. I want them to reach out to me when they do better and say, "Hey, what do you think about this one? We appreciate the review you did initially on this. We really took to heart what you said, and we've done better. Try this one out." Or as a matter of fact, go to your local gun store and buy another one and tell us what you think. That's what I want to see. I want to see them succeed, should I say, by leaps and bounds. That's what I want, okay? As far as the channel and the health of the channel, so far everything's been good. Financially, still going into a hole, and that's kind of what I'm trying to take stock of this year, because as a child of God and not being slothful in business, which that's what this is, I have to be frugal. So if that process continues, then, I don't know. I'll have big decisions to make at the end of 2025. So don't beat me over the head if I start to receive free guns. I have been reaching out to some folks, attempting to do that, because I'm going to be honest with you, because I answer to someone besides you, and that's my heavenly Father. So I'm going to be honest with you guys no matter what. I hope everyone that sends me anything knows that is true. And I thank you guys so much for watching, all of the good comments in the comment section, the support, everyone that supports me over on Patreon. I encourage you to go over there and do that as well. And you can go to my website at gsquaredtactical@gmail.com, pick you up some hats, some shirts, some coasters. We have things over there. If you would like to make something, patches or something that you would like to see us make, then we can do that as well. My wife and I really appreciate all the support you guys give us, and we hope to really grow this year and use it as an opportunity to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. Thanks so much for listening to me ramble, and as always, hit the thumbs up, be sure to subscribe, and to God only be the glory.